his way to the ring from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Billy Gunn!
This guy right here, Billy Gunn, is absolutely one of my favorite professional wrestlers of all time. Let me tell you that.
Incredible, and just another time-tested legend that's going to step into the PCW Ultra ring, and man, oh man, has this guy kept himself in amazing condition. I'd say he's got all the assets for victory, and if you think about this guy, man, in his career, an 11-time WWE Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Hardcore Champion, and a King of the Ring. And amazingly, here's a guy who really spanned time periods in the WWE. He was there for the new generation as part of the Smoking Guns. Then, of course, a fixture in the Attitude Era with the New Age Outlaws, along with the Road Dogg, part of DX. And then from there, things like Billy and Chuck. I mean, the guy was around for years and years and at the top of his game, and now right here in PCW Ultra.
How the hell are you? Awesome, awesome. So there's this little thing I used to do. Anybody remember the Attitude Era? Well then hell, this will be easy. All right, let's make some noise up in this bitch. If you're not down with PCW, we got 2 words for you.
Billy Gunn having a little fun here with the faithful.
And I agree, if you're not down with PCW Ultra, your best option is to suck it.
All right.
You're down with PCW Ultra?
Yes, the microphone now back out of play. Speaking of symbolism. But somebody not affected by all the histrionics is Graves. Ice water running through his veins. A huge opportunity for Graves. Stepping in the ring with a time-tested veteran and legend in Billy Gunn. What a win this would be for a multiple-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion.
He's a world champion. He's the champion of the whole earth, is Graves, when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu. But right now, he's got a professional wrestling test in front of him, the likes of Billy Gunn. My partner, Todd Kennelly, already went down the list of championships and resume that really is... There's no one like Billy Gunn. I mean, this guy from Degeneration X. I remember when he had the cowboy gimmick. Remember that?
I touched on it.
You touched on that?
The Smoking Guns.
Smoking Guns. Billy Gunn is a gentleman in the locker room, is a fierce competitor.
He's just lucky it was Bart that fought Butterbean and not him, or perhaps his
career
would not have lasted quite as long.
His partner, Bart Gunn, got his head knocked clean off. You could YouTube that video.
Are we going to get a clean break by the veteran? Yes, indeed. Great sportsmanship. Graves in the first ever matchup in PCW history, all the way back at Release the Kraken, taking on Timothy Thatcher. Had a series of matches with Thatcher. Also had big victories over the likes of Hammerstone.
Look at the power of Graves, able to muscle up the 250-plus Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn, a big man, but Graves has faced and defeated big men here in PCW Ultra. I mentioned a victory over Hammerstone in Hammerstone's PCW Ultra debut. Obviously, Hammerstone's come a long way since then, but also Graves has a victory over Brody King. So not going to back down from the power game, you got to believe, of Billy Gunn. Hammerstone has been on a run like we've never seen. The who's who of PCW that he's gone through. You saw Brian Cage during the intermission. Yep, Hammerstone beat him, along with Brody King, Jeff Cobb, and Timothy Thatcher, earning Hammerstone the right to battle for the gold later on against the incumbent champion, Penta El Cerro Miedo. What a main event coming your way, and what a special attraction match here. Seeing one of the best to ever lace up the boots in Billy Gunn, taking on one of the toughest in Graves. Something's got to give.
A little disrespect from Billy Gunn, much to the delight of this Wilmington, California crowd. Graves looking to do a little interlacing of the fingers, maybe a Roman knuckle lock, and Billy tells him to, well, you know what he said.
The faithful here in Wilmington certainly know the history of this man and his legacy. Graves saying he can match Mr. S when it comes to the glutes department.
Well, that's just blasphemy. There's no one with quite the booty that this man Billy Gunn possesses. One of the best booties in all of professional wrestling.
Gut wrench position here by Graves. Can he power up the veteran? Oh my goodness.
Look at the strength of Graves, unbelievable.
Doing a couple reps, takes him down with the gut wrench suplex, and I think Billy Gunn might regret agreeing to step into the PCW ring. He was originally going to make an appearance, sign autographs, another great legend meet and greet, but now he's in there with an absolute killer in Graves.
Yeah, and I talked to Billy Gunn about this match before the show, and I asked him, I said, why wrestle tonight? You weren't scheduled to wrestle. Why do it? And he said, I've never seen anything quite like the PCW Ultra fans here in Wilmington and around the world, and if I'm here, I'm wrestling.
Is that Chris Jericho? Just making sure. You can never be too sure. I don't think it's the actual champion out there drinking a cerveza.
That's not Chris. As Billy comes back into the ring now, and he's face-to-face again with a world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, Graves should not be taken lightly.
Yeah, but he's not. Graves hasn't seen boots like that or big right hands on the mat. Oh, all tied up is Graves. You know, usually Graves likes to grab a hold and tie you up, but this is on the other side, not the way he's used to it, and Billy Gunn right to the outside, gonna try and press the advantage.
Yeah, Billy's very calculated. He's methodical in the way that he wrestles and takes his opponents down bit by bit, dropping those big right hands into the forehead of Graves, using the environment to create punishment against his opponents.
Oh, and that lighting truss out there has done a lot of damage throughout the night, including in that amazing Ultra Women's title matchup between
what a match that was. Jeez.
Tessa Blanchard, the champion who had to earn that title defense and hold on to the gold, against an incredibly tough Diamante. What a night it's been, and this big part of it.
5 minutes gone by, 10 minutes remaining.
And look at that, nice veteran maneuver by Graves. Second man in the ring is always a disadvantage, and you got to get up pretty early in the morning to outsmart Billy Gunn, and that is what Graves did in that exchange.
And Graves, you know, I talked to him before the match too, and I asked him, I said, what do you think about going against Billy Gunn with literally no warning at all? He said, I've been watching Billy Gunn for many years. I know this guy better than he knows himself. He knows his weaknesses, and he has scouted Billy Gunn, and he's hoping to get a victory. I mean, how important would it be to beat a former Intercontinental Champion cover here?
Well, it's that mentality in the grappling and fighting world, quite frankly. Don't get ready, stay ready, be ready. You'll recall that Graves was a last-minute replacement to take on Brody King in the last show and gave Brody King a great battle out of the crucifix, going for the cover and remaining in control. And this is not where Billy wants to be with the multiple-time world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. And now a little ground and
those
pound.
Big elbows, huge elbows there from Graves from that top position. And that's where the Jiu-Jitsu meets pro wrestling. I mean, in Jiu-Jitsu, you can't throw those strikes, but those are vicious elbows that Graves is throwing from that top position. Billy Gunn is in trouble. He's in there with the world champs, Todd. This is a bad spot to be in that corner.
Graves is lethal no matter what type of combat sport you want to mix it up with him, and I would not take a number to mix it up with Graves in any arena. And Billy Gunn is finding that out the hard way, and you can feel that excitement leave the building here as Graves has taken the crowd out of this matchup.
Oh my God, and he just shoved down a PCW Ultra official who fell right to his back. And perhaps the anger and temper of Graves is starting to become the story here in this match. Usually a very calm and well-balanced mat practitioner, but now showing some frustration, and he's been unable to tap Billy Gunn out so far,
Wow.
and that's a big deal.
Double threat here. He had the boot across the neck. He had the arm barred as well. And Billy Gunn is notoriously a quick starter. You know, he'll usually get the jump on you at the bell. High impact offense. And right now the pace is slowed, and certainly to the detriment of Mr. Ass.
Look at this, smart by Graves. Dragging Billy Gunn away from the rope, lateral press. Didn't hook any legs, but see, immediately going after that right arm and right wrist. Look at these raining forearms. Look at that, that's incredible. Those forearms are all digging directly into the head and neck area of Billy Gunn. Joe Graves is a violent man, Tom.
Billy Gunn once battled Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental title. I don't know that Shamrock had the submission skills of Graves, but now the striking might open the window for the badass himself as Billy Gunn goes to work a series of clotheslines now, and he has turned the tables on Graves, at least for the moment. Billy Gunn closing the gap, goes downstairs. He's got 2 words for Graves. Nobody home for the Famouser, though. An incredible counter. And that's one thing. You talk about Graves having to be ready. He's seen lots of film, and he's seen that, but now he's on the other end of it. Famouser by Billy Gunn.
This is it, Todd. That's it.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, Billy Gunn.
What a moment. Billy Gunn steps into the PCW Ultra ring, and he found himself in a heck of a fight. They say, Christian Cole, that styles make fights, and it was the grappling acumen of Graves against the high impact of Billy Gunn and the experience inside the squared circle. Billy Gunn got the win, but he had to fight for it.
What we saw Joe Graves go after submission after submission after submission, and failed attempts at these submissions were exhausting for Graves. Ultimately, he fell to that Famouser. Billy Gunn got the 1-2-3. Incredible debut by Billy Gunn. I mean, Todd, you look at Billy Gunn, he comes back in here today, he debuts, he beats Joe Graves, a real, incredible roster member here at PCW Ultra.